It's not necessarily motivation coming to the gym, it's the discipline of coming all of the time. Even when we're not motivated and we're like, oh, I'd rather just like sit home and do nothing tonight, we're like, let's just go. With the fact that I've had 5 major orthopedic injury surgeries in the last 6 years, I think it would have been easier for me probably to just quit and give up and say, even the surgeon's like, you're never gonna compete again, Shannon, you're not gonna play sports again. But you can ask him, I'm extremely stubborn. So I just took this, instead of as defeat, I just took it as a challenge.
Other things following down the line, and like, you know, everyone's thought about it. I've thought about it before too, but like, you gotta weigh what you want now versus what you want later in life. On the days I don't want to show up, what keeps me going is I always want to be the best. You know what I mean? I have that drive inside me. I want. If I'm not the best, then I feel bad. I don't feel like I've done enough. I don't feel like I've put enough work. If I'm not consistently training and trading hard and above average, then I'm never gonna catch up.
Stay focused on your passions. Whatever your passions are in life, stay focused on them, stay driven, stay committed to those things that you love, because that's what life is all about.
My name is Dylan Turner. I'm 21 years old, and right now I'm an amateur boxer.
I'm Sionainn Turner. I'm Dylan's mom. I'm 50 years old, and I'm a structural engineer.
I would say the atmosphere here at Iron Asylum is really inclusive, and like, there's never been a chance or an opportunity where I've asked a question and someone's turned me away or given me like, you know, a look or anything like that. I would say the community here is definitely like here to help and here to help.
I mimic that, the atmosphere. Everyone has been super supportive, especially when we're prepping for a competition. People go out of their way to cheer you on and make sure you're getting your lifts and take time to really help you out.
My journey first starts around COVID in high school. Like growing up, my mom has always like been working out, always been in and out of the gym doing like CrossFit and like strong woman, things of that sort. And so she's always been trying to get me in. And then during COVID, I had all this free time. I was like, you know what, might as well, you know, try to look a little better. I was a fat little kid, so try to grow out of some of that. And then through her help and some of my other friends' help, you know, I started with mostly like bodybuilding stuff. Eventually I realized that I didn't as much care about how I looked. I wanted performance. So I switched to powerlifting. We both competed in powerlifting together, like, you know, won a few awards, you know, some meets, had really good fun with that. And then eventually I had an issue with my ACL. I tore my ACL playing soccer in high school. So I had to step away from that for a little bit. Ended up, you know, strengthening myself back up through PT, coming back up, and then competed once more, won the meet that I wanted to do. And I realized, like, you know, I really love powerlifting. I love bodybuilding, but I think I want to step into something a little more competitive. So I ended up switching over to boxing, and I've been doing that for about 1.5 years now. I'm loving it. But yeah, that's pretty much myself.
I grew up dancing and playing team sports. And then I had a catastrophic injury, one of my hips. And I ended up having to have a hip replacement after they tried to do some fixes on it. And I decided that I needed an individual sport for myself. So I ventured into CrossFit, and I competed in CrossFit for a while, but then I just wanted something more intense. And a coach that I had, who is still my coach actually, from CrossFit, was coaching strongman. So I moved into strongman and started competing in strongman. And even after 2 hip replacements, I ended up making it to national level in strongman competing. And unfortunately, after that, I had a shoulder injury and decided to move into powerlifting. And that's when Dylan was talking about, that we competed at powerlifting together. And actually that we had one of the most fantastic, our first meet ever that we competed together. They like kind of showcased us as the mom-son team that was competing together. And it was such a cool experience. We both broke state records at that competition. And ever since that, Dylan has been my handler for all my competitions. And I broke some more state records and a few national records after that with his help. Like, I don't even know my weights when I go on the platform. Literally, he knows how I lift, knows what I'm doing, picks my weight, and I just go up there and do it. It's the coolest experience.
So obviously, like I was saying before, like during COVID, she helped me with everything. And I would say, like, for probably the next like 1.5 years, strictly just worked out with each other. Like, always plan our schedules to be able to go together and help each other and spot each other. And now that our like training, has kind of separated a bit, they're still in here at the same time, just not necessarily with each other. They will come over and help each other and that kind of thing. So I think it's definitely like greatly improved our bond, like just spend like quality time together as well.
And he's been teaching me about boxing and stuff too. So I'm learning how to do all his pad work. So it's even creating a bigger bond. So he's still there for me for all the powerlifting competitions that I have planned for myself, but I'm trying to be there for boxing for him. And even though I'm really new to it and I'm just learning, but doing his pad work, it's a great experience. It's a great experience for us to grow together, and we love spending time together.
Personally, I think that if I don't have like something to work towards, like physically, like whether that's in the gym or in a sport or anything along those lines, I feel my mental health starts to deteriorate. I don't know. I have to be doing something like physical, something active at least to like clear my mind and give me that like clarity. I feel like it helps a lot in general, just like mental clarity and like setting goals and like building up discipline and things along that nature.
Absolutely. He's an extremely driven young man, and not only like career-oriented, but, hobby-oriented. His focus is just always on point. And I think that comes from here. It's not necessarily motivation coming to the gym. It's the discipline of coming all of the time. Even when we're not motivated and we're like, oh, I'd rather just like sit home and do nothing tonight. We're like, let's just go. And always afterwards, you're like, yes, I'm so glad that I went. It comes back to discipline again, right? Because if I feel disciplined, I feel like everything's under control. That helps me with my mental health, whether that's in my career or at the gym, keeping everything organized and moving forward and just doing what you have to do to succeed. With the fact that I've had 5 major orthopedic injury surgeries in the last 6 years, I think it would have been easier for me probably to just quit and give up and say, even the surgeon's like, you're never going to compete again, Shannon. You're not going to play sports again. But you can ask him. I'm extremely stubborn. I'm very stubborn. So I just took this, instead of as defeat, I just took it as a challenge. And I jokingly say, oh, this is Sionainn 2.0. This is Sionainn 3.0. Let's see what records I can break in this version of myself, even though I've had another hip replacement or even though I had my shoulder reattached. I just take it as an extra challenge and I'm not a person who gives up. Like I said, I'm extremely stubborn. If I was going to talk to a young girl that was feeling intimidated about coming to the gym, I would suggest a few things instead of just telling her to do it, because that's not going to happen, right? Is maybe bring a friend along so you don't feel alone when you're coming, right? Or maybe sign up for a class with a trainer so that you feel more comfortable and you're learning how to use the equipment. Or even just talk to the gym staff. The gym staff here are great and can help you feel more comfortable with equipment. Because a lot of times I think that they're coming in and they don't even know what the equipment is or how to use it. And it can be very intimidating, right? But having someone alongside of you, or just ask anyone in the gym. I guarantee even the scariest guy in the gym is going to be there to help you, because everybody wants to see you succeed.
If I were to talk to a younger guy about coming into the gym who's maybe a little bit nervous or anxious about doing so, I would try to help them, first of all, come up with what they can do. Give them some simple tasks to complete in the gym so that they don't feel like they're lost or running around. And let's say this person reached out to me, texted me or Instagram DM me. I would try to give them a set of workouts to do or something that they can just go and jump on right away, and maybe send them a little bit of background knowledge on how to complete each of those, and tell them that, it's more than okay to go up to people in the gym and talk to them. Everyone looks locked in, everyone looks a little scary, but if you just go talk to them, as long as you're not interrupting their set, they're what. My proudest moment is my brother and I both competed together in a powerlifting event. We both ended up winning and taking home state titles at that. That was probably the most proud I've ever felt.
My proudest moment, my biggest accomplishment was probably breaking 3 national records with Dylan as my handler, because I trust him, and doing these competitions together is just really the greatest thing to do as a family. That is the biggest truth about myself. I think that's really hard. I think that not being 20 years old anymore, that I have to remember that I am 50 years old now, and I am not recovering as fast as I want to. So I can't train in the same way that I was, but I can train just as hard. So just the way that you train is different and your mindset changes, but just know that your body just doesn't recover as fast as I really did to. What would I say to someone that maybe has never worked out before and wants to start when they're 50? I think working out is going to make you live longer no matter what age you start at. Right? It's going to make you healthy. It's going to build more muscle mass in your body. You're going to be able to do the things that you want to do with your kids and with your grandparents and all the activities that you want to participate in life. And the more muscle that you have and just the better general health that have, the longer that you're going to live. It's never too late to start.
So I think the biggest truth that I had to learn inside of fitness was how much of a role genetics can play. Because, you know, when I first started, just like every like young kid or young teen, they want to be the biggest guy. You want to be like, you know, big and jacked. And like, not to say that that's not achievable for everybody, but just to take it out of being on stage and being like a competitive bodybuilder. I kind of had my dreams crushed a little bit there, but that's okay. So I got through that by sticking with powerlifting, and I realized that, you know, I didn't really care as much about being big or being the biggest guy. I more so just cared about being strong and like being functional. So if I were to talk to a younger kid who's maybe considering doing steroids in order to like push them up to that next level, I would definitely try to like make them aware of the like issues with that and like concerns that can happen and other things following down the line. And like, you know, everyone's thought about it. I've thought about it before too, but like, you gotta weigh what you want now versus what you want later in life. On the days I don't want to show up, what keeps me going is, I don't know, I always want to be the best. You know what I mean? I have that drive inside me. I want. If I'm not the best, then I feel bad. I don't feel like I've done enough. I don't feel like I've put enough work. And especially in my boxing, if I'm not, you know, training every day or like, you know, taking breaks when I need to, I feel like if I'm not consistently training and training hard and above average, then I'm never going to catch up.
What keeps me motivated and going to the gym even when I don't want to? I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier a little bit. It's just the discipline of doing it, right? Again, I'm competitive. I want to win. I'm driven to win. So if I don't show up and I'm just going to make myself show up even on the days I don't want to come, then I know I'm never going to be that level of athlete that I want to be. Stay focused on your passions. Whatever your passions are in life, stay focused on them, stay driven, stay committed to those things that you love, because that's what life is all about.
My message to the world would be just keep going. No matter what it is, like no matter what you're doing, just keep going, keep trying new things, you know, put your all into everything that you try. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You can move on, but you can say you put your all into it. The biggest thing I learned from my mom is definitely discipline. She's taught me a lot about discipline and what it means to be disciplined, especially growing up, you know, like chores around the house, things like that, but now more so in fitness. And that's really carried me a long way.
I think the biggest thing that I learned from Dylan and his brother is patience. Just being patient and understanding. I used to be very type A, but being a single mom, raising two boys, it's a lot of work. But you just have a lot of patience.
One quiet sacrifice I have every day is probably comfort. A lot of times, you know, I work for an engineering firm, so I work outside and a lot of manual labor. So I get home and I feel really tired. And sometimes the last thing I want to do is go to the gym. So I decided to trade my relaxing to go to the gym and get done with it. If someone says that they don't have time for the gym, I never believe that. There's always time. You don't have time. Just about what you want to prioritize and care about.
One comfort that I give up on a daily basis, I guess it's rest. Again, we work in the same career. We do not work for the same engineering firm, but the same career. So we're outside, we're doing manual labor, doing things all the time. And you just don't have rest. You choose what you do when you get home. Choose to come to the gym. You might choose to cook healthy meals and prioritize more children. What would I say to the parent who's trying to struggle to connect with their kid? Find out what your kid's passionate for. Like Dylan said, I brought the boys to the gym ever since they were little, but their passions did not always align with mine. They played a lot of sports, so I dedicated myself at those times to those sports. And his brother is an avid rock climber, skateboarder, so he doesn't come to the gym with us because he doesn't love it. But we spend just as much time with him, supporting him in his rock climbing and his skateboarding competitions that he does. So I'd say find out what your kids' passions are, engage yourself in those, and then also include them in your own passions. so that they have as much respect for your passions as you have for their passion.
If I had to pick one song to summarize my entire like fitness journey, I would pick My Buddy, G-Unit.
If I could pick one song to be my journey, I don't know. Jokingly, The Eye of the Tiger. Just because it was such an iconic movie. My parents' generation.